Hi everybody, and welcome to Cooking with Cricket. I'm going to do a video with my Cooking with Kids series. Y'all remember my cousin's little girls. This is Tab's daughters, this is Taylor, and this is Jordan. And this one I've had since she was newborn. Literally, the day she came home from the hospital, she came to our house. Kept her all the time while Tabitha worked and everything, and she even, y'all seen videos of her when she was little. She even called me Mama when she was a baby, and we'd be like, no, it's Aunt Cricket. And she would just cry to stay here. And it would break my heart when she'd leave and be crying and going, Mama. I'd be like in here crying. And Jordan was born, they knew when she was born she'd have to be airlifted immediately to the children's hospital. Her intestines was on the outside of her body, so she was in intensive care for like months. So Tabitha and Lee lived there practically, and so Taylor was with me. It was there's a video where it was Christmas time and she was pretending like she was writing her little list to Santa Claus and stuff. Santa came and seen you. So anyway, and you've heard of the stories of me keeping her with her stomach tube in, and it was the first time I was trying to change it out, and she was screaming and Richard was holding her, and when I got the tube opened up where she was screaming like stomach acid was coming out and everything, bless her heart, but we had to teach her how to use a bottle because she didn't know how. So, I know that's gross to talk about when we're about to do a cookie recipe, but anyway, it's New Year's Eve, and let me take off my glasses, I know they're reflecting. It's New Year's Eve, and so we're going to make every year, after Christmas candy and stuff, I make Cricket's chocolate candy, throw everything in cookie to help kind of get rid of some of the Christmas candies and stuff. So the girls, we've divided out, like I've got some M&M chocolate candies, just a little bit left. I've got some dark chocolate bars, you know, Reese's Pieces, Snickers, and Kisses, and some chocolate chips. And we're going to, we pulled out the Rolos with the caramel in it because we'll put those in our brownies. So anyway, I'm going to let them do most of the work and teach them how to read a recipe and everything and follow a recipe, and so the video might be a little long, but that's okay. And anyway, Taylor was excited when she called, asked could she come over. She asked could we do a video. She wants to start doing videos too. So anyway, let's get started. And we're going to start by washing our hands and putting on, well, I'm going to put on my apron. So anyway, let's get started. Okay girls, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to let Taylor cut up the candies, and Jordan's going to unwrap the candies. Pull your sleeves up, honey, and leave them up. We've washed our hands real good. And so Jordan, like you unwrap the Kiss and then the little candy bar and hand it to Taylor.
How small do we cut it?
I would cut it in half and then in half again. And then put those in a bowl. There you go. You can chop up a few, do all Kisses at first. So that way she can fill up the bowl.
And then we can just go ahead and cut that one off.
And put that one in another bowl. And then we'll be back. Okay girls, the first thing that we're going to have to do is cream together our butter and our sugars. Okay. Do you know what that means?
No. Yes.
Okay, normally when you're following a recipe or baking, it will say if you need softened buttered, chilled butter, or cubed butter. Usually in cookies you're going to need softened butter. That means it don't need to be melted. That means I knew y'all was coming over and we was going to do this, so I took my sticks of butter and set them out of the refrigerator, barely mash it, and see, it's soft, it's room temperature. See? And then we're going to So it's room temperature. And we need 1 cup of butter. So that's 2 sticks. 1 stick of butter equals 1/2 cup. Okay? So if we need a cup, we would need 2 sticks. Okay? But we're also going to need 1 cup of shortening. Now shortening is solid vegetable shortening. It ain't the oil, it's the solid. Okay? So we'll need 1 cup of it. Normally at this time we would be preheating our oven. Like you don't want to make something and then turn your oven on. You want to preheat it. But these cookies will need to chill, and while they're chilling we will fix supper. So we have our 1 cup of butter and we have our 1 cup of solid vegetable shortening. I'm going to dump that in there. And then we're going to also need 2 cups of packed light brown sugar, and I'm going to talk to you about that. Okay, these measuring cups right here, I will only use these, the ones with the handle, because that's the one my friend Alan sent me, and I won't let nobody use them but me. So we need 1 cup of white granulated sugar, okay? So we'll pour that in there. And then Jordan, if you'll hand me the brown sugar. Brown sugar is essentially sugar that has molasses in it. There's light and dark brown. And normally on your brown sugars it will say packed. But normally what that means is you'll pour it in there and you'll press it down. Okay, that's what packed brown sugar is. But that's brown sugar right here. So you'll pack it and then it just pops right on out. Now we need to cream these together until light and fluffy. Now be careful and do not put your hands in here while this is going. But we want to cream. Normally, generally, you're going to always start off creaming your butters and your sugars and stuff. So if your butter was cold now in the refrigerator, it would not mix up. So that's why you want it. Now if you decided to make cookies and you just took your butter out of the refrigerator, well, you still can't use it that way. You can unwrap it and put it in the microwave for just a few seconds and then take off what's done gotten softened, but you don't want to melt it. Okay? So I've got it locked in place. Put it on stir first. Let it get going. And then you cut it up just a little bit. Cut it up 1 more notch. Alright, so we're going to cream this together till it's light and fluffy, and then we'll be right back. Alright, that's light and fluffy. So now we're going to get our dry ingredients ready. Generally, you're going to want to mix your dry ingredients in a separate bowl and mix it together. So we're going to need 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour. If you'll notice, there'll be all-purpose flour and self-rising flour. Self-rising flour means it has the leavening in there, meaning it's whatever's going to make it rise. All-purpose means it doesn't, and you have to add some leavening in there. We're going to need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Not baking powder, but baking soda. 2 teaspoons. 1, 2. And we need 2 teaspoons of salt. Now let me give you a hint. I don't like to measure stuff directly over my bowl, because what if I overfilled this, then all that went in there. So I like to pour like my salt separate over something else, but not directly over the bowl that I'm preparing. Okay, that's our dry ingredients. Take this whisk and stir it up. Mix it up. Hold it with this hand and mix it up. Okay, now set that aside, because now we're going to beat in our eggs and our vanilla. So I'm going to scrape down the bowl. So with the mixer on low, we're going to add our eggs 1 at a time. We're going to make sure that each egg is well incorporated. So what we're going to do is crack the egg in a bowl, separate bowl, So that way if we get any shell, we can dig it out. We need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay, add your egg. Go ahead and crack that egg, Jordan, so we can get it ready. Okay, now I'm going to scrape down the bowl again, and then we're going to start adding our flour. When we add the flour, we want to add just a little bit of the mixture at a time. So, take this cup measure, and with it on low, you just kind of sprinkle it in there. Yeah, all this has to go in here. Go ahead, add another one. Now we just want to, till it's combined, okay? So I'm going to scrape down the bowl. Excuse how my mixer sounds. I'm just going to cut it off. We'll throw in something and we'll mix it in. Alright, dump in a bowl of candies. Okay, now I'm going to add in some of these. Yeah, go ahead and put all them in. Oh, this is heavy. We're going to mix by hand. Just give it a good stir. And then we're going to cover the bowl and put it in the refrigerator and chill it for about an hour. But ours will probably go for about 2 hours because I'm going to fix supper and then we'll clean up that mess and then we'll be back to scoop them in our pans. You ready to get going? Mm-hmm. Okay, we've eaten supper and now we're ready to get on with the cookies. Well, we've ate supper and cleaned up the mess. Now we're ready to get on with the cookies. So you want to hold up the heavy cookie bowl. This makes a ton of cookies. So they've chilled. And now we're going to scoop them out on a greased cookie sheet. But I'm not going to grease my cookie sheets because I've lined them with parchment paper. So if you line them with parchment paper, you don't have to. And we're going to use cookie scoops, but these are the smallest size scoop. They're not big, but really you can make them any size. So Taylor, just take you a scoop, flatten it off at the bottom like that, and you'll have to do it several times and then just lift up. And you want to put them a couple of inches apart because they will spread. So you can get about 4 a row.
Alright.
Okay. And then we're going to bake them in a preheated 350 degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes or until they're lightly browned. We're going to take them out and let them cool in the pan just for a couple of minutes, and then I will move them to a wire rack to finish cooling. So we'll be back. Alright, Taylor's batch is ready to go in the oven at a preheated 350 degrees, 10 to 12 minutes or until lightly browned. Alright, we have 2 pans that are ready. We have 2 more pans in there. We've taken them out of the oven and we've let them sit a couple of minutes. So I'm going to bring the hot tray over to Taylor, and she knows it's hot, and we have Jordan moved. She's going to take them out of the pan and put them on the cooling rack. And we've done picked out which ones we want on this. Here's you a mitt. Okay, let me show the cookies. Okay, now she's going to take them off and put them on the cooling rack. And then we're going to let them sit on the rack long enough where when we bite into the chocolate, it just don't burn our tongues. We've done picked which cookie we're going to try. So we'll be back when we get them finished. Here's our cookies. We got 2 pans in the oven and 2 more waiting to go in the oven. But these are cooled enough that we're going to try one. We're waiting on Jordan to get back from washing her hands. We're trying to pick out the ones that's got the most of the
Which one do you want?
chocolate in it. Let's see, which one did I call? It was that one,
Yeah, you
wasn't
called
it?
that one. Which one do you want, Jordan? From either one?
And Taylor will grab it. Okay, y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, try your cookie.
Good.
Mmm. Oh yeah, look how chocolatey that way. Look.
Look.
Look. Mmm. Now that's a chocolatey cookie. Candy cookies. I do this every year. And I'll do it around Easter too when we have all that candy. But so this is my chocolatey candy, throw everything in cookie. And then we have Snickers and Rolos and something else to go in our brownies because it's got peanuts, because it's got caramel and peanuts and stuff in it. So just take your candy and make you up some cookies and brownies. And we hope everyone has a very happy new year. We've done got scared to death because somebody shot off this big old firework. And at first I was about ready to tell the girls, climb up under the table. But then we heard the crackling noise afterwards. So we may just get our own fireworks show here at the house from somebody shooting fireworks. Well, anyway, Happy New Year. Y'all got anything?
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
And we hope you enjoy.